We are tonight's entertainment.
What the fuck is this, Chet?
This is a tasty burger.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
You like Huey Lewis in the news?
Is this your homework, Larry?
Why just spill your beans?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Evil dies tonight!
Evil dies tonight!
If that was you on the phone and you on the bus, then who was flickering the lights?
Welcome back to the Spooky Scoop. We're back.
I almost fucked that up again, dude.
Yep, sure did. You're on a roll.
Don't say sure did like I said the F in Film Scoop. In my head.
Well, I just
scoop.
know, like, from experience that you're stupid.
Assume every time that I'm gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, I assume every time that you don't fuck up that you almost did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a pretty good rule of thumb.
No, in my head, I was like, Film Scoop, and I was like, ooh.
Yep. And we're a day late because my pal let me down.
Yep. I think, what does that put me at, delaying the scoop, like 3 times versus your like 9 times?
I've never delayed the scoop for a not valid reason.
My valid reason was that I was tired.
That you were watching the Blair Witch Project instead of preparing for the pod.
No, I was preparing for the pod. I didn't have enough time.
You were watching the Blair Witch Project.
I had it playing while I was preparing for the pod.
I didn't see that. I saw you fucking with Wire and watching Blair Witch Project, and then coming to me at 8 o'clock and saying you weren't prepared.
Well, you saw the wrong thing. I don't know what to tell you.
That's not the wrong thing. I know what I saw.
Nope.
I know what I saw, but it's all right. The scoopers, they're no stranger to late scoops.
Yeah.
It happens.
We all get it, you know.
Yeah. It sucks for me, though, because last night I was pumped. I was ready. And now, today, I'm not feeling great.
Oh, nice.
So, like, it's a coin toss whether, like, I just have to hope every Monday that I feel good. It's a coin toss. Like, I never know. Just because, like, for months, I'm not going to get into it, but just, like, for months I haven't been feeling good ever. But I just kind of like...
You suppress it.
No, I like it sways a little bit. Like some days are better than others, and I just always hope that Mondays are better.
Just know like some crazy shit has been going on with Cash. Like he's had the bad time for quite a while.
Yeah, not a fun time. But we got some things to fucking discuss here.
Ooh.
Couple quick things before we get into actual news. Actually, most of it's actual news, but I finally finished my Cure video that I mentioned that I did some foreshadowing for last episode.
Yeah.
So, doesn't have a lot of views at the moment. My new channel I created doesn't have a lot of subscribers at the moment. So, any scoopers out there listening, if you haven't watched it and you've seen Cure, please go check that out.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Had to re-upload it 10 times. Not exaggerating. I mean that literally. I would upload it and it would get blocked and copyright wouldn't let me upload it, so I had to do some fuck shit.
Yeah.
And finally got it to upload. So go check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. It was awesome to watch. Cure's one of those movies that, again, we already talked about it, but it's so cool to see what everyone takes away from it, because there's so much that you can like connect the dots to and say.
Yeah, well,
I know you
asked to watch it, and then you watched it, and then you basically disagreed with like my interpretation of the film.
Yeah, that's fine. I was like giving you what I took away.
No, I mean neither one's right. It's just how you view it. I
think it's cool that like we were basically on 2 completely different fucking boats when we were watching that movie.
We kind of feel like the movie means 2 different things.
Exactly. But that's fucking wild.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It is weird making a like video essay because I'm not the smartest guy, Like,
No, you
like when I watch a video essay, I always feel like this guy knows his shit. Like this guy, what this guy's saying is true.
Yeah.
And
it's factual.
And so I feel like I'm an imposter if I'm making a video essay because like I don't know what's like the intention or not. I just know like how I interpret something.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to say that a couple times. Like this is just how I saw it. This isn't like the right way or wrong way to see it.
Yeah, video essays always feel so like professionally done and stuff, and like so thoroughly researched. But something like Cure, like you got to remind yourself, like everyone's making shit up. Like you have certain things in the movie that you can point to and say, well, I think this because this. Mm-hmm. But like that's all you can do is speculate. But that's so cool.
But it's like Cure specifically, it's just there's so much left up to interpretation. So there's really no way to know who's right. But if I made a video essay on like the Batman, which I plan on doing at some point, like I'll feel pretty confident that what I'm saying about the Batman's true, and that like I'll have my opinions in there, of course, but like there's no things really left up for interpretation. It's a pretty straightforward movie.
Anything Cash says about Batman related things, take it to the bank.
Dude, I was listening
go
to
straight home with it.
I found this new podcast that's like I've just been needing more things to like listen to in the background while I do stuff. And I found one, and so I went back like 2 years to when the Batman came out and listened to their episode on the Batman, and they were like, yeah, I mean it was pretty good. Like I think it was about as good as like the Spider-Man movie from last year, which when they were recording that, they were talking about No Way Home. And then they said, like, yeah, it was like a entertaining time, but I'd never watch it again.
Oh, my God.
I was like, wow. Like
you went, wrong podcast for me. And then you just signed
like,
right
I
off.
don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
I try
to, you know, hear out people's opinions, but, like, if you tell me the Batman was, like, okay, I was like, dude, we gotta get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think these guys like are a little too into movies, like film school type people.
Oh, okay.
Because there were like I watched their episode on Martyrs. They had Moist Critical on to talk about Martyrs.
Oh, that's cool.
And one guy critiqued the film for the setting not being a character. And saying
that tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah, he was like the setting it was so like boring, and like the house was so sterile, and like it had no like character in it. Yeah, and it was like, well, that's kind of like the idea.
The point. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the point, is to have this like
this very clean and like
it makes it more uncomfortable to see such like harsh things happening in a clean, like prepared environment. Usually you see something like,
but also at the beginning there, like, you don't know if she's telling the truth or not, and you don't know what the deal is with this family, so you're supposed to believe, like, I'm not going to get into spoilers, I'm going to be vague about it, but like you're not supposed to know if what she's saying about them is true or not.
Yeah,
so it needs to be like a clean, like normal looking house. But
yeah, you don't want them to show up to the fucking Evil Dead fucking shack and do that stuff. Like it makes it what it is by being where it is.
Yeah. And they were just about the Batman, they were just saying like the theme, that the Batman theme is cool, but that they used it too much, and that they wanted like more new, different music in the movie. And
yeah, I mean, I guess if you just aren't a huge fan of the Batman theme, I can accept that. I love it.
I feel like they use the notes a lot, but they change like the pitch, and there's not.
I think it heightens every scene it's in, even if it was the exact same like chimes, the dun dun. Like if it was just that every time, it still ain't heightened every scene. Yeah,
I mean, that's just not like something I would only get frustrated with that if it was bad. If it was a bad theme or like annoying to listen to, I would get frustrated with that.
Yeah. Didn't All Quiet win an Oscar for
going bomb?
Yeah. And
Yep,
it's that same
did.
thing over and over again?
Went over the Batman in Babylon. Sure did.
That's crazy. I wonder what they thought about that.
I don't know. I might stop listening to them. I might need to find a new podcast to listen
Sometimes
to.
it's cool to get that.
But they had guests on that I thought was cool. Like, they had Chris Stuckman on twice, and, like, Moist Critical, and... So I would click on because of the guests.
Yeah.
And then I just stuck around because I needed more stuff to listen to, but yeah, I'll probably start listening to something else. But anyways, Cure video, I think that's what we were talking about. But anyways, yeah, that's up. Go
Definitely
check
check
that out,
it
please.
out, guys. It's awesome.
Penguin episode 5, I don't think you watched it.
Haven't seen it yet, no.
What an idiot.
Is it awesome?
It's awesome. It's
Oh
always
my
awesome.
God, dude. It's always awesome. It's such a good fucking show, dude.
Dude, yeah, and the new episode is like nothing different. It's still incredible. There's a lot of progression with a certain character, and Oz does something that's like, damn,
Oh my God.
like that's a fucking Batman villain right there. That's the top. That's the real deal.
Yeah.
That's top penis. So yeah, I won't say anything about it, but it's fucking awesome. And then the big news, big news, big time news. These are all rumors.
Nothing
So
allegedly.
take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But these are rumors. But Christopher Nolan's next film. The rumor is I already told you Matt Damon was cast. Yesterday it came out Tom Holland was cast.
Okay.
That's awesome, in my opinion. I like Tom Holland, and I want him to be in good movies.
Yeah.
And I feel like
I like Tom Holland.
there's nothing you can do better than being in a Christopher Nolan movie.
He's gonna
Like,
bring,
if you need your career to, like, get some juice, like, get a shot of adrenaline to it,
Yeah.
you star in a Christopher Nolan movie.
Nolan's gonna show you the way.
Yeah.
He's gonna get the best out of everyone that he touches.
Yeah. So, that's awesome. But the big news is, the rumor is that it's going to be a 1920s vampire horror movie.
Oh my God.
Just rumors. That's what the streets are saying.
Them's just the rumors.
Yeah. The earlier bird gets the worm, and I'm the early bird right now.
Dude,
so.
if that pans out, I'm gonna be coming so much, dude.
Dude, that's like the last thing on the checklist for Nolan that I've been wanting him to
like
do
a
as a
big
horror
horror
movie.
movie.
We've been talking about it like for years. That
Yeah.
I just want to see Christopher, especially after Oppenheimer, with the certain scenes, like when he's giving the speech and then he's getting the flashes and the people's skins peeling off.
He
and,
can build
like he had those
dread.
elements, those quick little elements in Oppenheimer where I was
Yeah.
like, dude, he could go crazy with some like I just can't imagine, like that's what the horror genre needs right now is Christopher Nolan, because he can just turn things that he can sort of just like turn genres on their head.
Yeah.
Like Oppenheimer, made by anyone else but Christopher Nolan, isn't as good.
1,000%.
And it could have been a fine movie, but it's like, it's like a 3-hour long biopic. It'd probably be something similar to like JFK or Malcolm X, which I'm sure are good movies. But the way Christopher Nolan can like inject his style into it, and I think to me his style is like a fast pace and a booming score that moves the film along. That's kind of like something that I feel like is in almost all of his movies, at least recently, since like Inception.
Yeah.
All of them have been like that. But thinking about a horror film with like that, like Christopher Nolan element, with the tension and like the music he can probably create, he'll probably get Ludwig on board. Like,
yeah.
I'm just foaming at the mouth for that.
Yeah, dude,
I want more details. I want it to be
nothing he can't
confirmed.
do. Yeah.
That's so exciting. There was a rumor that it was an espionage film. So I don't know if those are like two different things. Like there was a rumor that it's an espionage movie, and there's a rumor that it's a vampire movie, or if those are like supposed to be the same movie.
Oh,
and it's like an espionage period piece where vampires are there too. Like I don't know how that would work. What does espionage technically mean? Isn't it like spies?
Well, I'm pretty dumb, but to me, anytime you say espionage, it is spies, like gathering intel. It's gonna have something to do with spies or like being like in disguise and stuff like that. That's
the
gonna
practice
be
of spying or using spies.
Yeah.
So I guess you could have like a spy movie with vampires. I just don't know how that would work.
Yeah, maybe he's like a detective trying to uncover, like a Sherlock Holmes trying to uncover like dark practices, and he discovers vampires or something like that. Maybe
that'd be nuts.
But dude, yeah, Nolan with his pacing, because I feel like that's what a lot of horror movies. There's so many that suffer from that, as like they might have a really strong intro and then it peters out, or like the first half isn't quite as good as the finale and stuff like that. His pacing of just like being consistently good all the time, I feel like would make for some awesome shit.
Yeah.
But my question for you is, how do you feel about, I feel like I've seen people bringing back a lot of these horror, like classic horror tropes with like werewolves and vampires and stuff like that.
I want more.
I fucking love it.
I want more. Vampires, fucking werewolves. I'm good on zombies. I'm good on them. I think they've come and gone as they should have. I just don't find zombies scary, and I don't find them very interesting. And I feel like there's a lot of zombie movies you can like dig up if you're in the mood for it.
Oh, yeah. I feel like we've gotten zombies pretty consistently. But like traditional vampire, like we had that transition of like sexy vampire like in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And like it came back like that, and then like I feel like we haven't gotten a real like monster vampire movie in like since the last Voyage of the Demeter, probably.
Which was last year, so it doesn't help your point, but
doesn't, but like that gap in between.
Yeah. Other than that, it's been pretty non-existent. But I like those like old school monsters. I want more stuff like that. But yeah, I was thinking about like how much I say I love horror, and I do love watching horror movies. But if I made like I have a top 50 list on Letterboxd of like my top favorite 50 movies. I mean, it's like, who knows how true it is, the order, because I'm bad at making lists.
Yeah.
But in my top 50, I have no horror movies. So, like, I'd say The Shining, or actually The Thing. The Thing's on there. That's the only one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In like the 40s or 50s, I have The Thing. And it's like, for a genre I say I love, there's like, it's like a different kind of love. Like, my shit is science fiction and like fantasy or comedies or like detective movies, and so that's what all my top 50 are. And then there's one horror. So I just feel like Nolan is capable of making a horror movie that I actually love and would put in my top 50.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah. See if there's any other news here on the old list. Creature Commandos trailer. You probably didn't watch it.
I have not seen it. I
Pretty
haven't heard
cool.
anything about it.
Pretty cool stuff. It features a quick shot of Clayface.
Ooh.
And Creature Commandos is canon to the DCU, so that means Clayface is in the DCU.
Fucking awesome.
Pretty fucking awesome. Which probably means he won't be in Matt Reeves' universe, which I already kind of suspected.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna. I think Matt Reeves has already went to him and said, "These are the villains I'm using," and then Gunn's gonna try to use everyone except those.
Yeah.
I just think it's cleaner. I feel like that's probably the. And someone asked him on like Twitter. Someone asked James Gunn, like, "Does Matt tell you who he's using, so you guys don't like use the same characters?" And he was like, "Yeah, I mean, he tells me like what his plans are, just because we work together." But he didn't say specifically that like he wouldn't use a villain if Matt uses him. But he said like he knows what his plans are. So
yeah, I mean, it wouldn't bother me if they used the same guy, like if they both did interpretations of the same villains, because like at some point James Gunn is going to use probably like all of Batman's like
He'll
gallery.
probably want a Joker.
Exactly. There's going to be
Riddler.
people that he's going to like touch at some point. But I do think it's safer to just hold those off and let Matt Reeves just continue to unveil his stuff.
Yeah. I just don't think like it'll be an issue, because I just think that Matt Reeves for the most part is going to use villains that like doesn't really interest James Gunn's universe very much. It seems like he's probably going to want a lot of fantastical stuff.
Yeah. And he can also get by with using villains that require more setup because he has an established world now, versus like James Gunn is actively building one.
Yeah.
So he's safe in that regard too.
Yeah. Gladiator 2's getting great reviews, great early critic reviews.
That's what I want.
As I would expect.
That's what I want to hear.
A Dune Prophecy trailer came out, but I didn't watch it.
Why?
I just haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know if you're going
haven't
to try
seen
and like avoid it.
No, I just haven't seen it. Luca Guadagnino is going to direct a new adaptation of American Psycho.
How do you feel about that?
Here's my deal.
Because I think
Because I said in a couple episodes ago, I want an American Psycho reboot. Not a reboot, but like an
expansion almost.
No, I think reboot's the term. I don't want it to have to do with. I don't want it to have anything to do with Patrick Bateman or like Christian Bale's adaptation or anything. I want it to be separate. I want it to be just like a spin-off about new characters.
Yeah.
But with the same tone and with the same vibe.
Almost like an anthology almost of just like this
Sort
is what's
of.
happening in this world.
Like The Office is doing a new Office show about a different company in the world of The Office.
Yeah.
Like with none of the same characters, just the same vibe. But they're starting fresh. Like that's what I'm kind of talking about with American Psycho. So I wish he would just like do a spin-off that's like he writes it or he gets a writer to write it or whoever, but it's like a brother, like a sibling film to American Psycho and not like an adaptation of the same book.
Yeah.
And I know that Mary Herron didn't like adapt the book, word for word, so there's probably a lot in the book that will be in the movie that wasn't in the original movie, but I just feel like when it comes to adapting stuff, when there's already a version that's pretty much considered perfect, just kind of don't mess with it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the Harry Potter show they're doing. Like, yeah, there's probably some stuff in the books they left out of the movies, so it's not completely accurate, but that, like, the Harry Potter film franchise is the definitive Harry Potter, and it always will be.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to find someone who people think is better than Daniel Radcliffe or a Snape that's better than Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not going to happen. So even if there's, like, small changes you can make that makes it more accurate, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Stay adapting stuff that, like, has room to improve.
Yeah.
Like how they just did a new Salem's Lot movie because no one really likes the old Salem's Lot.
Exactly.
Now, this one apparently is bad, so that's not a great example, but that's the type of things you should be adapting, or books or novels or games or whatever that like have room to improve because the Edgar Wright's Running Man,
Exactly.
like a cool concept
Fucking
that
Dune.
just wasn't done properly. Yeah. Dune. Dune's a good example. So I wish it was just like a new American Psycho movie and not like adapting the same book and seeing a lot of the things we already saw, because then you're just going to get compared, and like no matter how good that new guy does, he's not going to be as good as Christian Bale.
Yeah, you're
Patrick
kind of
Bateman.
setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it being Luca though?
That's interesting. I like Luca, so
I was gonna say
I don't think
you
he's like in a box either. Like I don't think Luca's in like this. Well, that's not a type of movie he'd make. It's like he kind of does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, he does do a pretty big spectrum.
Like Call Me by Your Name is nothing like Suspiria, and then Suspiria and I guess like Call Me or Bones and All are like a little similar, with them being horror movies. But then he made Challengers right after Bones and All, and it's like those two are completely different. So it makes sense that he would want to do something like that because he doesn't have a type of film that he makes. And I think he's good. I haven't seen I don't know anything about Suspiria, but I hope I guess he doesn't have to go comedy with American Psycho. Like, oh, that's the whole point.
I didn't know if that was like the book or if they just did that for the movie. If the book was designed
there's
to be
pages
funny.
long of him describing his watch in the book. Like that's
okay.
The joke is how concerned he is about like his appearance and his lifestyle and how people view him, and he'll go on rants about like his suits and how no one gives a shit about it. But like
I haven't read it or anything. I didn't know if that was like just the movie or if that was
that's the book.
So
like you can't do it without comedy.
I hope he can capture that comedy style.
Yeah,
because I don't think he's like, obviously he's good, but I don't think he's done a ton of like funny stuff like that. Like there's stuff that's funny in his movies that I laugh at sometimes, but never like what American Psycho is,
Yeah. I just hope they do something different, like different enough to justify its existence. And but overall I'm pretty excited just because I love American Psycho and I want more stuff in that tone. I just wonder, like, now that the times have changed, how far they'll be able to go.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I actually just watched Cody Leach's movie. Apparently there's people that are pretty upset with Terrifier 3. Yeah, I mean, and
I don't think there's any reason to be upset with Terrifier 3. Like,
I think there's always going to be people that's like, that's just so ridiculous. Like, no matter what you do. But
there's nothing in Terrifier 3 that isn't in other gory horror movies.
Yeah.
Like Saw or Hostel or any of that shit. It's like, it's all just blood and gore. And then the thing that they did that's like problematic or like a little off-putting, they do off screen, and that's in horror movies all the time.
Exactly.
Like, just, I guess, slight spoiler warning for Terrifier 3 for like 20 seconds, but there's children death in Terrifier 3 off screen, and a child dies at the beginning of A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
No one fucking cares.
Yeah.
That's the story they're telling. They didn't watch you get the kid torn apart. Like, it's a quick swipe and he's gone, and he's dead. That's the same thing that really happened. Like, they show a dead body at the beginning of 3, and it's like, I mean, that doesn't upset me. Like, just seeing the aftermath. Like, it's a little farther than like other movies will go, but as long as you're not showing it happen, I don't really care.
I think that's probably the peak of that. But like they did everything pretty tastefully.
Yeah, I feel like there's a line you can cross, and they did a great job like getting right up to the line and not crossing it.
Yeah.
Going as far as you can without crossing it. But yeah, I'm excited overall. I'd like to check that out.
Heck yeah.
And then last piece of news is that Hans Zimmer's Dune 2 score is disqualified from the Oscars because he used too much previous music.
From Dune 1?
Dune.
What the fuck, dude?
Now, this makes no fucking sense. Because if you've ever seen the Oscars, every year that Star Wars comes out, a new Star Wars, John Williams' score's nominated. And guess what song plays at the beginning of every Star Wars movie?
The
same fucking shit. They used the Indiana Jones theme in Indy 5 last year, and John Williams got nominated. Like, I feel like they're just pushing a anti-Hans Zimmer narrative. The woke mob has gotten to the Oscars, and I just don't appreciate it.
Yeah, they saw him fucking wearing a Hurricanes jersey, and you're like, this guy can't win.
Dude, because, like, apparently there's some limit. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's some limit you can't pass with, like, pre-written or like pre-released music. But
How many songs is he recycling?
well, he's not recycling any songs. All of them are new songs, but he will reuse some notes and like some themes. And I just feel like there's like one thing in the entire Dune 2 score that I recall from the first film. And it's just the overall theme. This thing right here.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's from the first
dude.
film. But that's
I'm
it.
gonna blow my fucking head off.
Like, there's nothing in Dune 1 that's like a rival.
Yeah.
This shit's fucking hard cock.
Which one's the ornithopter attack?
Oh! Are you fucking
God,
kidding
dude.
me? Ornithopter attack is harvester attack.
Yeah.
Oh! You kidding me?
I'm gaped right now, dude. I'm fucking wide
Dude,
open.
Harkonnen Arena?
God, dude.
Are you fucking
Yeah, I think
kidding me?
that's-
Worm
so-
Army? Dude, this shit right here, the second half of Worm Army. I'm gonna get copyrighted, but I don't care. This is
Give a
important.
fuck, dude. This is too cool.
Listen to this. Seeing those 3 big fucking worms. Oh my
Dude,
god.
and he's fucking walking just casual. God.
Dude, you kidding me? This is like Kiss the Ring is like Lord of the Rings level music.
Dude, yeah.
That like you hear that and you instantly think of the film and you think about that scene.
Yeah, dude, it's... dude, I'm gonna fucking break something.
Yeah.
I wanna jam my head through a wall.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Like every song is new. He just has to use a couple of like themes again because that's what you do for like a sequel.
Yeah.
But like how The Dark Knight has like Batman Begins themes.
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
It's just how it works. But that's just so fucking stupid, dude, because like so far this year there's no debate on what the best score is, in my opinion. You have some I'd call them plebeians that would say Challengers is the best score, which I like the Challenger score a lot. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it probably should be nominated. But it is not a better score than Dune Part 2.
Like,
I think Dune Part 2 is better than 1, the score alone. I think the score for 2 is better than the score for 1, and the score for 1 won the Oscar.
Yeah.
So
I think
that settles it.
I feel they're just like, fuck, we're gonna give everything to Dune again. We can't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, they're looking at all the 7 Oscars they gave Dune
it
like
is
3
gonna
years
be,
ago.
Like, I think realistically, if they go all 3 movies, it's gonna be fucking 3 years of Dune on the Oscars because it's so fucking good. I don't know. That's dumb.
It's just
like,
horseshit.
Yeah.
It's just
Because like the Challenger's score is cool. Maybe I just don't like the movie that much, but I would say that Dune 2 is in a completely different atmosphere.
I mean, yeah, I think that there's
it's
so many like
miles and bounds
dimensions to
ahead.
the Dune 2 score.
Yeah.
Like the Challenger score is cool, but a lot of the songs sound similar.
Yeah.
Whereas Dune 2 has like those quiet love themes, and then he has like the huge scale war scenes.
Yeah. And maybe I'm attaching like the Dune music to the scenes, and it's fucking making me hard while I think about it. And Challengers, I don't do that to.
I just think the scores, like, I can normally separate stuff like that. And I can say, like, this movie isn't that great, but the score is amazing. And Dune 2, like, just my bias outside of that, it's just the best score of the year by far. Because of the diversity, because of the quality of each song, how much the score elevates the scenes. It's just
the best shit.
It's just the best shit fucking of all time. But anyways, that's all the news. So now we can get into the trivia. Where that was 35 minutes.
That's all right. I have, for those of you, I mean, I delayed the scoop, and I've had a very light week on watching movies. I've been doing a lot of shit, so I only have 2 movies on my watch list because I'm a weakling. I was trying to go hard.
Either.
I was trying to go hard for the month of October, and I let you guys down this week.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Oh, I forgot to put it in my notes, but I'm also pretty light on watches this week, which is in part because I've been playing Arkham Origins.
Heck yeah, dude.
Dude, quick story time. We're already kind of running long on like the pre-movie talk business.
That's all right.
But
we delayed the people. We got to give them
quick story time.
Fluff.
I decided I want to play all the Arkham games, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get them all done. That's something I want to do. So I can watch like videos like ranking all the Arkham games. And I'm talking about all the Arkham games. So Gotham Knights and Justice League Kill the Suicide Squad. All of it.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
the first one I need to play, because I've played the trilogy, the Kevin Conroy trilogy. Well, yeah. The ones where he's the lead.
Yeah.
So I just needed to play Origins, but it's insanely hard to play Origins because it's like the Xbox 360, PS3 era.
Yeah.
They never remastered it or anything. So you either have to get PlayStation Plus, which is $17 a month, and you can stream it that way. And I've heard people said don't stream it. And I don't want to pay $17 just to like basically rent it.
Yeah.
Like I can go get it in person and then either trade it in and get money or trade credit, or I can like return it and get all my money back.
Yeah.
So I ran around to like 3 different places and finally found Origins, paid $30 for it, and then I left the tag on so I can return it once I'm finished. I'm just
the cheat code.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play it for free.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there with my Carl's Xbox One. I took it out of a drawer and hooked it up so I could play Arkham Origins, and I had to face it like standing up because the cord wasn't long enough for me to lay it flat. I know that the visual probably doesn't make sense of what I'm saying, but just trust me, I couldn't lay it down. And I was like, I'm sure that's fine. Like I would never set it up normally, but people do that.
Yeah.
And then I Googled it. Once I put it in, and it wasn't recognizing I was putting a disc in. It wasn't saying can't read disc or like, this is an Xbox 360 game. We can't, you know. It was like nothing was getting put in, and I was like, what the fuck? So I tried both discs. I turned it on and off again. Like I did everything in the book. Like I've been playing games my whole life, so I knew all the things you should do when something like that happens.
Yeah.
Nothing was working. And I was like, so I Googled, will Xbox Ones read discs if it's standing up? And it said yes. It said it doesn't matter. It'll read it either way. So I was like, okay, well, that's not it. So then I went on trying to troubleshoot. Nothing worked. And then I finally was like, okay, let me find a way to lay this down. Because that's like the only thing. The only thing left that I haven't done. And then I laid it down flat, and then it read the disc and started installing. And I was like, holy fucking shit. Like,
what a
we were damn cavemen.
Yeah.
We couldn't read discs when the Xbox is standing up.
Yeah, dude.
What the hell?
Yeah, I didn't even know you could stand it up. Like I when I got it, I was always sitting flat.
Yeah, because there's just no like, unless you have to because of like space or something. Like there would be no reason to set it up straight. Yeah. But yeah, I finally got it installed, and it's been pretty fun. The boss fights are definitely the standout. The Deathstroke fight is probably my favorite boss fight I've ever played in a game.
Hell yeah. I was gonna say, like, I didn't know you were including Arkham Knights and Justice League, but like as far as the core Batman Arkham games, Asylum, City, Night, and Origins, I don't think any of those games are bad.
Oh no, none of them are bad.
Solid.
They're all really enjoyable. I just hate when too much of the game is in one location. So that's why Asylum's my least favorite, because I don't like being just stuck in Arkham Asylum the whole game. Even though it's well done, it's a good story, it's just, I like variety and I like going to different places. And Origins like got to this part where I was stuck in this in like GCPD for like hours, and I just started to not have the best time. But I'm out of it now, so whenever I get back on, it'll be. Anyways, but yeah, Arkham Origins has been fun. I like the snow vibe.
Heck yeah, dude.
It's just such a weird game to exist because it's like it's canon to the Arkham games, to the Arkham series.
But no one talks about it.
But it's like, it's not Kevin Conroy, and I don't know. It's weird. And it's like out of order.
Don't you get Troy Baker as Joker?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy.
They did get a good guy, though, for Batman. I do like his Batman voice. I think it's Roger Craig Smith or something.
Yeah,
that's his name.
I don't
he's,
remember.
He's
it's been
really
forever
good
since I played Origins. I just remembered like thinking it was good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Oh, do you remember the electrocutioner fight?
The electrocutioner.
He's one of the like assassins sent after Batman, so it's a boss fight.
Yeah, it's him, like Deadshot, and like a couple of other people.
Yeah. So the electrocutioner fight. That's a hard word to say.
Yeah. I was gonna make fun of you, but then I was like, nah.
Yeah. No,
tough.
you can't. That's a tongue
tough,
twister.
dude.
You can't do that to me.
It's a tongue twister.
But we like the boss battle like started up, and I normally wait for someone to attack me so I can counter.
Yeah.
Like I don't go to them and hit. And so the guy was just standing there, and I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing? And I stood there for like a minute, and I was like, what is this guy's deal? And then so I went up to him, and then when you get close to him, it puts you in a cutscene where you just knock him out in one punch, and he's dead. Like he's knocked out.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Dude. I remember there being a bunch of B-rate like villains that, like you have to fight at one point.
Yeah, and that was like when the electrocutioner boss battle started, I was like, I don't care about this guy, dude. I want to fight Deathstroke. And then it instantly was over, and then
That's
Deathstroke
hilarious.
came in, and I was like, hell, fucking yeah.
That's
but yeah,
awesome.
Anyways, my trivia. How many men are in the research station in The Thing?
How many men?
Yep. Many men. Sorry.
I've got no fucking clue. It's McCready, Childs, Windows, the old guy, the sheriff looking guy, the dog guy. I already counted Windows. That's 6, but I feel like I'm missing some. I'm gonna go with 7.
12.
12. Way off. I wonder who I'm missing. I was trying to think of all the prevalent people.
I don't know.
It had to have been. Oh, I didn't count that guy they catch in the snow.
I only remember Childs and McCready. Like
I remember
name.
Windows because he's super ugly.
And his name is Windows.
Yeah.
That's dumb. What's the name of the boat in Jaws?
You've asked me this before, and I never remember. No clue.
The Orca.
The Orca. Yeah, you've definitely asked me that before.
What's the name of the demon that possesses Annabelle in the Conjuring films?
I've got an answer, but I don't think it's it. I was going to say Valak, but I think that's the nun.
No, it's Valak.
It's Valak?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was something to do with the nun.
I mean, I haven't seen him in a while, actually. I don't know.
All I know is I missed the question about the Thing and Jaws, and I got the Annabelle question right. So
that's technically a Conjuring question. It's Annabelle's in the Conjuring.
That makes me feel a little bit better. But realistically, I'm gay.
You answered a question. You answered a question correctly about James Wan. Okay. About a James Wan film. So
you
did a good thing.
Me. Okay.
Yeah. So what are your trivias?
My trivias. Let me get it going here. I did 4 as a little extra here, but
all right.
Do the easy one. What's the Child's Play 2 release year?
I think it was 89.
Went off, dude.
90.
Fuck. It's close enough to be impressive.
To be fair, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, any movie I ask that he's seen, he's gonna get. So I'll just start making shit up.
Yeah. Well, I know that the original Child's Play was 88. So
you was like 1 or 2
and
years off.
Back in the day, there was less CGI and less time needed in post, so they could pump out sequels really quick.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. This is guess the movie by the cast.
Okay.
Dylan Minnette.
The Open House?
No. No.
Prisoners?
No.
Oh.
Dylan Minnette. Jane Levy. Daniel Zavato. Hope I'm saying that right. Do you have any other guesses? Because there's one more person.
I'm still, all I have is Dylan Minnette.
There's one more person I'll say, and then you'll get it. But Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang. Don't Breathe.
Yep.
I didn't know Dylan Minnette was in that.
Yeah, he's like he like wants to bang the chick, I think, and then he's like the nerd that they bring along.
So he knows what a quality horror film is, and then did The Open House.
Yep.
Fuck him.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I think The Open House killed him.
I
haven't heard his name at all since The Open House.
How do you do a Denis Villeneuve film and then do The Open House? Like, you have, like, you know what you should be doing in life.
Yeah.
And then you get the Open House script on your desk, and you don't think it's beneath you. How?
I don't know.
How's that possible?
I do feel kind of bad because, like, no, I don't feel bad.
No, I don't
it's
feel
horrible.
bad. A, he was in the
like,
Open House, so fuck him.
Yeah.
But B, he doesn't really like need acting or care about it. He's a musician. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Oh, okay. My next one is guess the movie based on the quote. Should be pretty easy. First, you want to kill me. Now you want to kiss me. Blow.
This was recent, wasn't it?
It was very recent. I can say it like the guy if you want me to put you in the scene.
Oh, fuck, dude. I remember this being said. It's not Hot Fuzz, is it?
Not Hot Fuzz, no.
Is it Hell House?
No.
Fuck.
First you want to kill me. Now you want to kiss me. Blow. That was my impression. He's eating food as he says it.
Dude, I remember him saying that. I just don't know what movie it was.
Who would say blow in a fucking movie?
Oh, dude, I don't know.
I thought for sure you'd get this, dude.
I remember it being said. I just can't remember what movie that was.
It's Army of Darkness. He's eating a turkey leg, and she comes in and is like, "Thank you for helping us," and he says that.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. And then the last one, which is the hardest one, but what is the name of the bar in American Werewolf in London?
Oh, I don't know. I saw that once, like 2 years ago.
No, it's a Slaughtered Lamb. It's in a lot of haunted houses. I think they do like that. Like scene, you'll see like the Slaughtered Lamb pub and stuff. So
I have a follow-up bar question.
What's that?
I'm gonna Uno reverse you.
Oh shit!
What's the name of the bar in Gone Girl?
Oh, I don't know. I fucking don't like that movie.
It's called The Bar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I have no idea. All I remember from Gone Girl really is that
saying you don't like that movie. Fuck
maybe
you.
I had my kid brain on, dude. I wasn't like in love with Cure when I first watched it, and now like
okay, but there's a difference between like it's all right, like it's pretty good, versus like I don't like that movie.
That's
like
how
this is a David Fincher movie we're talking about that isn't Mank or Benjamin Button.
Yeah, so he can miss, and he missed on Gone Girl.
He did not miss.
Maybe I'll rewatch it, but I do remember not liking that movie whatsoever.
You'd give it a negative score.
Yeah, listen, it's been a while since I watched it, but if I'm recalling my feelings at the time that I watched it,
that's so
I would
wrong.
say it's not.
I mean, that's just so incredibly
below
wrong.
average. Yeah, that's what I would say.
All right, time for real reveal. You can guess first.
All right. We'll keep with the classic. Let me get number of words and the release year.
Number of words 3, release year 2003.
2003. Three words. Fuck.
Yep, a Rooney.
The only thing I can think of right now is Let Me In, but I think that was like an earlier 2000s movie.
Is 2003 not early 2000s?
I think it was like 2000, like 10 or something.
That would be late 2000s.
I said earlier twice.
Yeah, you said
No. I
earlier
think it's
2000.
later. Fuck it, Let Me In.
No.
Damn. I'm guessing I don't have a letterbox score for this one.
You have letterbox scores for both of these.
Oh. Give me my letterbox score then. Maybe that'll help me out.
2.
2. Not a fan. Not a fan.
I will say that's too low. You're wrong. But what do I know? I'm just an idiot.
I don't know. I lose track of all the low scores that I give. I like to focus on the good stuff.
You're at 26 points.
Give me lead actor. I think I'm fucking running out here.
Robert Englund.
First thing that came to my mind is Nightmare on Elm Street, but that's not 3 words.
You're at 51 bones.
A movie I don't like with Robert Englund in it. The fuck?
It should be pretty easy at this point.
For some reason, the only thing I can think of with him is Nightmare on Elm Street. I've got no fucking clue.
Well, you know he did a lot of movies in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. He did more than just one.
I don't know what they're like. Fucking. There's Dream Warriors, but I don't know if that's like. If the name is The Dream Warriors and that's it, or if it's Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Warriors.
So that makes this even more simple. You know Robert Englund's in it, which means what character's in it?
Freddy Krueger.
And you know that Nightmare on Elm Street, anything's going to be more than 3 words.
Is it Freddy versus Jason?
Yes, it's Freddy versus Jason, Carl. Can't believe it took you that long to figure that out.
I don't know why that didn't come to my mind at all. It is too low. I did add like a heart beside it, which at the time I was like trying to say that I really like it, but it's a bad movie. But I just need to just.
If you like it,
exactly,
it shouldn't be a 2. So
that's when I was still struggling with like how to properly grade stuff.
Yeah, I feel like you still do.
I do,
because you'll glaze the shit out of a movie and say I should watch it, and then you'll give it a 3.
Yeah,
it's like it's not a 3 then.
I need to be true to myself.
If you like it as much as you just said, it's not a 3.
Yeah, I have to take time to like marinate on stuff because I could be like, I don't want to have reason.
I feel like you just try to be a little too like. I don't know. Like if there's a bad movie that you like that everyone thinks bad except you won't give it like a 5 just because no one else has it there.
No, that doesn't bother me because I'll not like a movie that everyone likes. It doesn't.
No, you don't have trouble with that. Like if you watch Stalker, you'll give it a 1 if you think it's a 1. It's the opposite I'm talking about. When you love a movie that's bad, you'll be really passive with the grade instead of giving it like I have Surf's Up at a 5.
Yeah, that could.
No one else on my friends list has it at a 5. Maybe Evan.
I think I got it at a 4.5.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, You guessing now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Release year.
2012.
Ooh, that's a big one. A lot of stuff.
I was trying to camouflage this thing, dude.
What's my letterbox score?
Your letterbox score is a 3. I feel like this one blends in with a lot of stuff. I'm trying to throw you off. I'm trying to activate my cloaking.
I would normally just throw out a guess, but it's a little risky. Let me get words in the title.
2.
Okay, so it wasn't my first thought. 2 words, 2012, gave it a 3. That is something. Fucking. What am I at?
Release year, letterbox score, and then number of words puts you at 23. Which, I mean, it's not going to matter. You're gonna beat me. You had to hold my hand through my guess. So Borderline didn't even keep score.
I could guess director and still be under you.
You can guess whatever you want.
Director could fuck me since I have it at a 3. It could be something like forgettable.
There is something else that's more expensive that I think would help you.
There's nothing more expensive than director.
It's on the more expensive side of things. Possibly equal to the cost of director.
I would think you're referring to lead actor.
Yeah.
Which you shouldn't be giving hints on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm going to disobey you and not use your hint, and I want director.
All right. Marcus Dunstan.
Oh, Marcus. Why didn't you say that?
I
don't know who that is.
I told you to do lead actor.
Yeah, I don't want to cheat. I'm not going to use your hint.
I didn't say anything, dude.
Fucking 2012.
2012 with old Dunstan.
3-star. Dude. Okay, give me... fuck, I'm going to lose. I feel like this is much harder than what I gave you.
It is.
Is it your next?
No.
Okay, give me lead actor. I don't know.
I hope I'm not fucking you. Josh Stewart.
The Collection?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Was that a good pick?
Interesting.
Was that
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. I thought that, I was like, this has got a lot of other movies in it. 2 words, middle of the road rating, like,
yeah,
nothing to really stand out.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, next one.
All right, let me do number of words in year again. I'll see if I can recover.
2 words, 1980.
1980. Right on the nose. I feel like I was going to ask you this one. And then I realized it was right at 1980, and I was like, he's going to know immediately, like 1980 even. And I didn't ask you, and I don't remember what the fuck it was.
What a shame.
It's definitely none of the big ones like The Thing. God dang.
You're going to try to guess a movie based on the year? You're
Isn't
not
that
going to ask
crazy,
for more
dude?
clues?
Well, dude,
You know you don't know years.
I swear I just looked at this movie and was like, he's gonna know that, and I can't ask. What the fuck did I put down? All right, give me my letterbox score.
3.
Damn. I got a lot of horror movies out of 3, dude.
Yep.
It's nothing I watched recently. Oh, fuck. It's not The Shining. Unless it is The Shining. I don't know when The Shining fucking came out.
I think you're forgetting one of your clues.
Oh.
You're bad about that.
Oh, yeah, it's a 3-star.
I told you one time it was a movie that's forgettable, and you guessed Prisoners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you guessed Nightcrawler.
I did do that. 1,000%. I don't fucking know. I swear I fucking was gonna ask you this though.
Well, here we are. Two assholes.
Fuck it, give me lead actor.
You don't want lead actor, Carl.
Oh my god. Nothing's gonna help me.
I know I said you're not supposed to give hints, but in your case, I'm not letting you do that.
Fuck, when did Evil Dead come out?
You have Evil Dead at a 3.
The first one? I don't know what I have the first one at.
It's 2 words, Carl. This is 2 words.
Yeah, Evil Dead is 2 words.
The Evil Dead. That's 3.
Shit, I didn't know there was a "the" in it.
Sam Raimi's 1981 film has... There's another hint for you. Not 1980. His 81 film is The Evil Dead. Fede Alvarez's 2013 film is Evil Dead.
Oh, okay. That's the separation.
And let me tell you, side note, I fucking hate when people add or take away "thes" in titles.
It makes it so confusing.
When someone, like a couple years ago, when Joker came out, people would say, "Have you seen The Joker?" I want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
I want to murder you. There's no movie called The Joker. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The Joker is a character that's in hundreds of different mediums.
Yeah.
You are talking about the film titled Joker. And yes, I have seen it. You fucking idiot.
I don't know. Sometimes I do that. Like instead of saying, "Have you seen the Batman?" I'll say, "Have you seen the new Batman movie?"
Well, that's just because you're talking to people that like don't really know the title.
Yeah.
They just know that there was a new Batman movie, but it's very like you can be talking about 2 completely different films whether you include the or not. The Suicide Squad is an incredible piece of art.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad is a heap of shit.
Yeah.
Ang Lee's Hulk and The Incredible Hulk are 2 different movies.
Yeah.
Ang Lee's Hulk is called Hulk.
Yeah.
The Incredible Hulk is called The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Very different things.
Yeah.
So, call movies by their fucking title. Thank you.
That would get you fired up like that. I don't know the answer to this, dude. If none of the cast is going to help me, I don't have
I wonder what else could help you if the cast won't.
Director?
Yes, Carl. I'd say that's a good guess. John Carpenter.
Oh my god, it's The Thing. Or wait, hang on.
Dude.
No, it's The Fog.
It's... I told you it was 3 stars.
Know,
it's not the fucking Thing.
Is it The Fog?
Yes, it's The Fog.
Oh my god. That is the one I was going to fucking ask you, and then I saw 1980 and I was like, he's going to know. And I scrolled past it. Because I think you have a cool poster for The Fog on your letterbox.
I do, but the older the movie is, the easier it is for me.
I know.
Because I've seen less movies, so...
Yeah.
Like 2012, I saw a lot of movies, but in 1980, it's like, it's The Shining or it's The Fog. So,
okay.
I mean, I don't... Maybe there's another 1980 horror film, but I don't think so. But yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. You ready to guess mine?
Yep.
I think this one is actually going to be slightly easier for you.
All right.
Because there's one aspect about it that stands out. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
What do you want?
I want release year.
2019.
Ooh. Give me my score.
1 star.
2019 horror, 1 star.
And here's a slight hint. I don't know if we've ever talked about this movie ever.
Is this Insidious: The Last Key?
No. That would have been crazy.
I can't remember what year that came out, but I think it was around that time. 1 star. The Nun was 2018, I believe. It wasn't any of the Halloween movies. That's really low.
That is really
That's a
low.
low score.
I thought the low score would help you immediately identify it.
Well, the open house that's too high for the open house. First of all,
yeah.
That's 2018. I'm thinking it's probably like a franchise movie, like Insidious 4 or can be either of the Nuns. Can be The Conjuring 3. Is it Annabelle Comes Home?
No.
Fuck. I think that actually was 2019, so
Damn.
that would have been pretty sharp.
That would have been nuts.
What would help me here? Give me the director. Give me the director. I don't want your hint.
Tate Taylor.
Ew. God bless, dude.
I'm sorry. Sorry you had to see that.
Tate Taylor. What the hell, man?
You're dog meat, pal.
Give me the... Fuck. Give me the lead actor.
Octavia Spencer.
Ma.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Fuck, I didn't know I had that low.
Yeah.
That might be a little... Like, I don't think it's that bad.
I haven't seen it. I don't know.
I thought you saw it with me in
No.
theaters.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I didn't go see it.
You don't have to.
Good picks, though, on my part, I should say.
Pretty good picks.
Really testing your movie knowledge.
Yep, those new years really fuck me.
I'm coming to acknowledge
stop doing
such a thing.
I want to pull another house.
Oh, no fucking way, dude.
Letterbox reviews, I got 3.
All right, I got 3.
This one's from Amaya, 3 stars. Carpenter's little beat boop music really gets me going.
Little beat boop music. Shit, what could that be? Is it The Fog again?
Yeah, it's a fog.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, that's the only thing I can think that's kind of techno.
Yeah. Then got one from Single White Famalian again.
Dude.
Guest of the show, friend of the show.
She's blowing up.
3 stars. Where the Gremlins get tiny gremlin guns from.
Dude, they made them.
And then this is my favorite one from Branson Reese. No rating, just a review.
Awesome.
would be fucked up if this happened.
What a simple, great review. That could be fucking anything.
That's for the wailing.
Oh my god, it would be fucked up if this happened. Oh god, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one.
My first one is from Elvis the Alien, who fan of the old YouTube channel. 3-star. Not once did she question whether her husband fucked that sheep.
Lamb.
Yeah. This is Ethan, 4.5. Crazy Frog ringtone, hard as fuck.
I remember a movie having like a dumbass ringtone.
I forgot it was in this movie.
Isn't it?
It's newer.
Wasn't it one of the Halloween movies?
No.
Talk to Me?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
That's crazy that you fucking
crazy
did
pull.
that just now. And this next one is Eric. Gave it a 2.5. This is what it feels like to chew 5 gum in hell.
Mandy?
No. I don't think you're gonna guess this one. Do you want to go again?
That's fine.
Do you want to
try? Mad God?
No.
I don't know.
Annihilation.
Ah.
Yeah.
Annihilation isn't a very like hellish landscape.
Once they go into it, it is. People are fucking. Well, I don't want to spoil anything for Annihilation. Some people might not have watched it, but
guess. First up for me on the old Watcherino is Wrong Turn.
I was in and out during Wrong Turn, but I can tell you, I remember not liking Wrong Turn, and as I was watching it, I remembered why I didn't like Wrong Turn that much.
It's just like there's just nothing special about it.
Yeah. I just don't like that subgenre of horror at all. The backwoods horror doesn't connect with me very well.
I watched this because my sister was in the room and she's really picky and never watches movies with me. So I just tried to find something she would watch with me, and she did for a Wrong Turn. So that's why that happened.
Yeah.
And I had never seen it, so I wanted to check it out. But I mean, I gave it a 2. It's not like the worst thing of all time. It's just a little boring. And dude, like I watched it about a week ago now, and like I barely even remember anything that happened.
Yeah.
Just super bland and forgettable. There was like one cool shot. They were using some like early 2000s CGI to like splice shots together, and there were a couple shots I liked, but other than that, it's like insanely generic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do anything like horribly wrong, but it's just super forgettable.
Yeah, no, that's kind of how I feel about it.
To where like I just watched it and I can't even say anything about it.
Yeah, like any of those. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen some of these, but like any of the like Wrong Turn, Hills Have Eyes, shit like that, like I usually am distant from. I think the big one that stands out as like one that I actually like is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, yeah,
it's kind of it.
Yeah. I need to watch The Hills Have Eyes too. I've never seen them.
I do know one thing, and I don't know from which Hills Have Eyes it is because there's sequels and remakes and a bunch of shit, but I do know it's breakfast time. That guy with the fucked up head.
Whatever that was that you just did, I want in.
You don't want part of that guy,
sign
dude.
me up.
He's got a fucking melon on him, dude.
That sounds awesome. Then next up for me was just a Cure rewatch that I did and like took notes for my video.
Mm-hmm.
So went up to a 4.5.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I like when movies like they open you up and then they like walk their way in. You know.
Yeah.
They increase like with each rewatch you catch something or there's something new. Those are usually the most like valuable.
Yep. Then I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah, let me tell you. You text me and said, I want to do a double feature of both the Rob Zombie Halloweens. And I said, why? And you were like, well, I haven't seen them. And I was like, I don't know if I'm interested.
Well, that wasn't the only reason.
I mean, yeah, like you were watching them with your buddy and stuff, but I was like,
my friend said he wanted to watch Halloween movies with me, and I don't want to watch the new ones. I've seen the original 15 times, and I don't really just feel like watching 2 and 3.
I mean, did he say like Halloween is a Halloween franchise or just movies that are?
Those are the only movies he'll watch. He's a weirdo. He wanted to watch Halloween movies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I'm gonna watch the 2 that A, people have been talking about recently, and B, I've never seen.
Yeah.
So,
well, what did you think about it? Because I remember I started the first one with you, and then I left to go to bed because I was like, yeah, I don't like the Rob Zombie Halloweens.
I gave both of them 2.5s.
That's not terrible.
No, they're not bad. And I can see why people like them more than I do. The first one, I thought the main issue was that it goes into Michael's origin, which A, in theory, I just don't want. I don't want Michael to have some twisted, like, fucked up childhood with, like, an abusive stepdad, and, like, I don't want that. That can work for other films. I prefer when Michael Myers is just evil because he's evil, and that's it.
Yeah.
And the mysteriousness, like, of him just wanting to murder people for no reason is cooler than him being like this kid that was bullied and like had a abusive dad. And
yeah, the most I ever want to see of him is like what we got with the original Halloween with like the early killings.
Yeah,
like,
and that wasn't him being mistreated from what I remember. It was just him as a kid being fucked up.
Starts out and he just fucking does it out of nowhere.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that adds to like him just being evil.
Yeah, so in theory, I don't want Michael's backstory to be like sympathetic, but it also just goes on for too long. I pulled up the runtime when it switched from kid Michael backstory to modern day Michael killing people, and it was 40 minutes in.
Yeah, it was even longer than I remember, and I remembered it being long.
And I don't want that, dude. I do not put on a Halloween movie to watch Michael Myers as a kid. That's not what I want. But once it switches over, it does a lot of things really well. Once it switches over to modern day and it's a normal Halloween movie, it's pretty good. It's pretty enjoyable. It's easily the scariest Michael Myers there is. I think that Michael Myers for me is never really that intimidating. I know that might sound stupid. I just feel like the way he's portrayed in all the other movies, like he moves so slow, and he kind of comes off a little goofy. But in Rob Zombie's version, he's a fucking hammer.
Yeah.
He is like 7 foot tall. He breaks through doors and windows, and like he's such a physical force that he's so much scarier than any of like the John Carpenter movies.
Yeah, that is one thing that I remember. Speaking of being goofy, dude, but in the first Halloween when he's like trying to kill her in the closet and she just pokes his eye and he like gets stun locked for 15 minutes.
Yeah, he gets flashbanged.
That's so funny. But no, that is one thing that I do remember enjoying from the Rob Zombie ones is the physicality is a cool direction to take Michael Myers that like doesn't destroy what he is as a character, because like the only thing you can really do, I feel like, is like make him more physical, or you make it more of a paranormal thing, and I'm glad they did the physical. It just made him huge, a huge hulking fucking freak.
Yeah, they got Michael, like grown up Michael, just being intimidating very right. Yeah. He's much scarier than any other movie. But in the sequel, I was like, okay, I could love the sequel because now Michael's grown up and I don't have to deal with any of the childhood bullshit, and I can just watch Michael fuck people up. And like, they still dive a lot, not into his childhood specifically, but like they do a lot of metaphorical stuff, and he like sees his mom and this big ass stupid white horse.
Yeah.
It's supposed to symbolize something. I forgot what it said at the beginning of the film, but I respect Rob Zombie for trying to do something new, and I do think that he does enough new in these two movies to justify them existing, and it's not just a shot-for-shot remake like, like the Psycho remake with Vince Vaughn that's just a remake, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like he did enough different that I understand why he made them, but the choices he made, like, just aren't what I want. I don't want this, like, trying to be super deep and metaphorical and, like, showing why Michael does what he does, which I still just don't really think adds up because his mom never wanted him to kill people, and his mom was, like, nice.
Yeah.
And so him seeing his mom, like, doesn't do anything for me. Like, when you're watching The Penguin, I know that's like, random thing to bring up, but
no, you're fine.
His mom, like, feeds into who he is.
Yeah.
So in that case, like, if his mom died in the show and then he's seeing visions of her, like, that could, like, build him up and be like, yeah, like, he could think about what she used to tell him and how he needs to stand up for himself and blah, blah, blah. And that would make sense. But with Michael, that wasn't he didn't have some, like, evil mom that wanted him to kill people.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't see the connection between, like, seeing his mom and making him, do what he does. It just doesn't really make sense. And it just kind of bogs the movie down and makes it not as enjoyable. And he also just has awful dialogue.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think his writing in general is that bad in terms of, like, the ideas he has, I think, but his dialogue specifically, there's a scene with young teenagers that is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah.
It's like three girls, like high school girls, communicating, and Rob Zombie's trying to write like he thinks teenagers talk, and there's a character that says, "Too coolio for schoolio."
So you have it at 5
So I jumped out of a window. It's so unsufferable, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
he did refer to a girl's ass as a dumper though, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob Zombie, he just insists on putting the most gross people in his movies.
Yeah, dude.
Just like they look greasy and they talk greasy.
Yeah.
They just talk like they have awful vocabularies and just not really fun. I get that that's like his vibe, and when you're watching a horror movie, some people really like that, like the gross feeling.
Yeah.
I don't really want it though. Like
I'm good on that.
I don't really like that style that he has, where, like, in her house, in Laurie's house, there was, like, graffiti on the wall. In her home.
Like, not the abandoned house?
No,
like...
in her home. She has graffiti on the wall. And, like, it's dirty and nasty. And, like, everyone listens to Alice Cooper. And it's like, just because you like these things doesn't mean, Zombie. Like, everyone in your movies has to.
That's Rob Zombie, dude.
Yeah. But I don't think they're the worst thing in the world. But
you just don't like the direction he took it.
Yeah, it's just one is bogged down with Michael's backstory. If one was like grown up Michael killing people the whole time, it'd probably be really enjoyable. But it has that first half I don't like, and then in part 2, they're doing way too much with like Michael in these. I just don't like what they did with Michael in general in Halloween 2. They focus a lot on Laurie. And they also make Michael and Laurie brother and sister again in that movie, which I always don't like. That's just stupid to me.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of Michael, like, specifically hunting one person either.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's... I would prefer if Michael was just a crazy guy that killed people, and he didn't seek out one person over anyone else. He just walked around and killed whoever he saw, and that's how I think he should be.
Yeah, that's why, like, I think that's why a lot of people don't like the sister thing, because you're adding reason for what he's doing. You're giving him, like, motivation, And the fact that he doesn't have motivation, you're just in his way, and now he's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
That's what is scary about him.
Yeah.
And like in the first Halloween, he's not targeting Lori. Like, well, I guess he kind of does because he drives around and watches her. But he's like stalking his prey. Like he's just like, I'm gonna kill this fucking person. Mm-hmm. So he's just like, people are around. I'm gonna kill him. She's trying to get away, and he's trying to kill her. That's it.
And from what I remember in like the newer Halloween movies, he's not like trying to find her and kill her either when she's old.
No,
pretty sure he just gets out, starts killing people. So then like she kind of goes to him because she feels like she needs to do something.
In the 2018 one, he does go back to like, he's heading towards his house, I think, his old house, and he's just killing everyone like on the way. Mm-hmm. And then that crazy doctor like picks him up and takes him to Laurie's place.
That's nuts.
And now he's there, so he's just like, I'm gonna fucking kill people here now.
Yeah, I mean, this works.
I mean, if there's people and there's a knife, I'll be there.
Yeah. They also make Rob Zombie makes Michael Myers in the, I think it's only in the director's cut, so it wasn't in my cut that I watched, but he makes Michael Myers say die. He talks and he says die.
When does he say die?
When
was
he's
that supposed to happen?
I think he's killing Loomis.
Oh, and he keeps like trying to get him to talk, or he wants to hear him talk.
What do you mean?
Isn't that like part of their relationship they established in the Rob Zombie ones? Is like Loomis is like, you haven't talked in like these many years, and he doesn't know why he doesn't talk.
I mean, it didn't really have anything to do with that. It was just Michael had Laurie like hostage, and Loomis was trying to go help.
Oh,
and then
that's something else too.
He said die.
That don't like that. But the relationship they were trying to establish between Michael and Loomis, I think, like, fell completely on its face.
Yeah. They also make Loomis an asshole.
They do. Like, he's talking with Michael and, like, you know, being sympathetic and then, like, saying how, you know, his home life, you know, caused this. And then he writes a book calling him the devil. Like, the next time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's not your fault, Michael. Like, bad things happen. And then he's like, nah, he's Satan himself.
Yeah. In the original Halloween movies, I remember Loomis being like pretty, like one of the better characters.
Yeah.
And having good intentions.
Yeah.
And then in this one, they just turn him into a scumbag.
Yeah, I don't like that because he's like, he is a psychiatrist, but he doesn't believe that Michael is like human anymore. So he's like very alert about everything that happens, so they like call him in as like a specialist, and he's like, you're not dealing with like a crazy guy, this is evil.
Yeah,
like what he is.
Yeah,
which is fine because we don't see him trying to like get to him as a kid or like sympathize with him or anything, but in those movies you do, and it makes him seem just like a dickhead.
Yeah. Also in Halloween 2, Michael like barely ever wears the mask, which I just think is dumb.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I don't want to see Michael Myers' face.
Yeah,
I thought that was like one of the cool things about the newer Halloweens is like when they first go meet him in the asylum and they don't show his face. Like the camera doesn't show his face. It'll show the back of his head and stuff. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That adds like a mystique to it. And so just don't do that. Just don't show his face.
Yeah.
It's my personal preference.
Yeah.
And then I watched Constantine, which was a wreck from Adonis.
I saw that you watched that, dude, and your review is awesome.
I just said sauce.
I know. Love it.
Sometimes I just didn't know what to say, and it was good. I mean, it's a like a comic book movie with I believe it's a DC character, or maybe like someone that was partnered with DC, maybe like Vertigo or something. But it's just cool to see like a quote unquote superhero movie. I wouldn't really call Constantine a superhero. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Because it's like Batman's a superhero and he doesn't like do typical superhero stuff. He's just a dude. But
he's supposed to be a superhero.
So Constantine's sort of the same way where like he's a guy, but he lives in this world where there's like angels and demons and, you know, exorcisms and all this stuff. And he's basically like sort of like a priest. Like he'll go and get demons out of people and send them to hell and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's a lot like Hellboy. Like he's a supernatural specialist, basically.
Yeah. So I guess I'm not gonna get mad if someone says it's a superhero movie, but it just doesn't really have that vibe like a superhero movie. It feels more just like a cool vampire. It gives me like a Van Helsing kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't call that a superhero movie. I'd say it's just like a cool little like horror action movie. But I think Keanu's bad acting works in this movie because I love Keanu, but there's just certain roles he can't play because of the way he delivers lines. But Constantine's a very dark character that says a lot of like edgy shit. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense for him to talk like John Wick. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's really cool. It's really unique, and there's not many things like it. And I like the direction. The guy who directed it went on to do a lot of the Hunger Games sequels. Like all of the sequels, actually, except he didn't do the first one, but he did all of the other ones.
Oh, shit.
And like the direction's really good, and it's a cool concept, and I think they're working on a second one now, which is cool.
I actually want just like a reboot of Constantine.
That's probably the better idea.
A lot of people want Keanu back as Constantine, but I don't like, and it's fine. It's fine that he like doesn't match up with like how Constantine typically is, but like I want a pretty like off the page Constantine of like supernatural detective, fucking demons, hell, like almost like a Dante's Inferno type shit. Mm-hmm. Like hardcore with the magic and the paranormal side of things.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was cool. I gave it a 3.5.
Heck yeah.
And then today I watched Cabin in the Woods again.
What did you think?
Dude, this is such a weird movie for me to like pin down how I feel about it.
Yeah. Because I did not like Cabin in the Woods at all when I first watched it. But I was also not, I don't think I was like aware of what it was trying to be. It was kind of like when we went into Malignant with like the wrong expectations. And we like didn't like it at first. Mm-hmm. That's how I felt about Cabin in the Woods. But then like as I reflected on it, it's like, well, it's obviously going for camp. I haven't rewatched it in a while, but I think it is going to be like trying to be like a Scream, like fourth wall breaking type movie where they have these horror cliches that they're playing off of. But people love it, and even from what I remember, I still don't really like it that much.
Yeah, so not sure like what to talk about spoiler wise. I guess
we can spoil Cabin.
We'll talk about Cabin in the Woods for a few minutes. So if you don't want to hear that, go ahead and skip. But I'm not sure like how much the trailer shows. But I always remembered this movie as like normal Cabin in the Woods movie until the end, and then there's a reveal that there's like this lower deck with these people like controlling everything. But that's not at all how the movie is. It's from the opening scene is the guys in the lower deck.
Yeah.
Like you don't know exactly what's going on, but you know that there's like these people under like in some base somewhere watching this group of people in this cabin on a screen.
Yeah. I do remember that, and I remember like I don't remember the actor's name, but I do like him as an actor. But the dad from Step Brothers,
yeah,
they're like taking bets on like what monster is going to kill him, and he keeps voting every time on
the merman. Yeah,
he never gets it.
Yeah,
that part was funny, but yeah, I do remember like them doing the shady company thing, but I don't remember the trailers showing any of that. I think they sold it as just like horror movie, horror movie in the woods, and that's it. Like I don't remember them saying anything or like playing, like giving you an idea of what the vibe for the movie was going to be, which is why maybe I watched it with the wrong expectations.
Yeah.
But I do remember the base being like between the base and the cabin, it being like cutting back and forth pretty regularly. Mm-hmm. And then I remember Chris Hemsworth driving a dirt bike into a force field.
Yeah, it's I love horror movies that do something different and have an original take on something and just get nuts. And this movie is that. It's original and it gets nuts at the end. Like, the third act is crazy. But for no reason that I can, like, specifically pin down, when I watch the movie, I just don't have that great of a time.
Yeah.
It just doesn't really excite me. I'm watching it and I'm like, this is a pretty cool concept, but it's just what's the term, like the sum of the parts just like doesn't really add up to anything meaningful to me.
Yeah.
Like, it has elements that should be cool, and I'm not sure exactly why it doesn't work for me, but
I think for me it's because a lot of the stuff that I think is supposed to be funny, I don't think is funny.
Well, there's not like a ton of comedy in it. It's the guys in the base making jokes and like betting on what monster will kill people is funny, and a lot of the stuff in the base is because they're just making jokes the whole time. But like 80% of the movie is the people in the cabin, and they're not making jokes often.
I think like the pothead character, I remember like him saying a lot of stuff that I think was supposed to be sold as funny, but it wasn't. Like, he's got the thermos that he like pushes down into or he's got a bong that he like pushes down into a thermos, and like I think that was supposed to be like a visual gag, but like I wasn't really invested in the pothead character anyway.
What an odd thing to remember about a movie you haven't seen in a while.
I know, weird shit goes on in my head, dude. But I remember there being some visual gags that they were supposed to do, like Chris Hemsworth riding off into the force field. I think was supposed to be funny, and like turning like a horror trope over on its head of like the strong lead character dying like that in a really dumb way. Mm-hmm. But like it wasn't funny to me.
Yeah.
And I think that the movie is supposed to be fun, and there are supposed to be these funny gags, like how Scream is like very obviously they're talking about like being in a horror movie, and they are in a horror movie. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't make me feel like how Scream does.
Yeah, Scream is like actively fun the whole time.
Yeah.
Where I don't get that vibe from Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
It's a little more serious in tone. And I also didn't understand, like, I get why the movie has these monsters down there in this base. They have like a Pinhead looking guy that I think is supposed to mean Pinhead. And like they have a Pennywise clone, and they have a big snake and like a werewolf and all this like typical horror stuff. And I get why like it's in there as like the meta thing with I think the joke is like this is like every horror movie that's ever been made is like from this from this company, like sending werewolves after people and sending Pinhead after people and like doing it for this ritual, and like that's the joke. Mm-hmm. But in universe, like in the story, I don't understand why these monsters are in there, because like there's these big gods underneath them that they're having to like kill these people for. These 5 people in this cabin, they have to kill the 5 people to like make the gods happy, but they don't explain why they need all these monsters and like what part in the story they play and like why they're there.
From what I remember is that every item in the basement of the cabin was linked to one of the monsters, and it had to be up to the people they brought into the cabin. Like they had to pick up an item like out of their own free will to pick how to die. And I think all those are cursed objects, like from the deity that they're doing this ritual for. Like it has to be these things.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that like whatever they picked up is how they die. I get it, but they never really explained like why that's necessary and why you couldn't just kill them with a knife. And
they don't. I just assume that somehow they're all tied to that deity.
And maybe I'm just like looking too deep into it and wanting an explanation for things that doesn't need it, but it just didn't seem to like connect for me.
Yeah.
Like I understand the whole needing this ritual and sacrifice to please these gods, but I didn't see how the monsters like mattered. It seems like you could just kill the 5 people and that would be it.
Yeah.
But I do like the ending. I think the ending's cool. Like that final shot. Do you remember the final shot?
When they're in the temple? Well, it's like a temple type thing and they see all their like relics, all the statues that like symbolize them, and then he's like, fuck this.
Well, the final shot, spoiler if you skipped ahead, this is the last thing. This is the last spoiler. But the final shot is them like the 2 people survive and fuck up the ritual.
Yeah.
So the people told them like if the stoner guy doesn't die, everyone in the world's gonna die. Like it's gonna not complete the ritual and everyone's gonna die. And then they're like, well, fuck you. And then they just sat there and
then like a big hand pops out.
Yeah, and then it zooms up to like ground level, and then a huge hand like comes up and like smashes down with like it looks like a big person like crawling out of the earth. Yeah, and that's like an awesome visual. Yeah, and like a dark ending that's just like cool.
Yeah.
I like the final shot. Like I don't hate the movie. I still gave it a 3. That's positive.
Yeah, that's
it's just it's not one of my favorites. Like it seems like people get really hype about Cabin in the Woods, and I can understand why, but for me it just doesn't really amount to like as much as I want it to.
Do you think it has room to grow at all?
Not really.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt. Like there's not a ton to really latch on to.
I think the underground stuff's enjoyable, but like when you go back to the group of like teens, it's still just not that fun. Even when you know like what's going on, it's just I'd rather be watching something else.
Yeah.
But that's all for my watch list.
Well, my watch list, I watched a little number called The Empty Man again. Because I couldn't remember if I finished it or not. I thought that I started dozing off, and I hear people meet riding The Empty Man sometimes.
By people, do you just mean Chris Stuckman?
Well, Chris Stuckman talked about it. Meat Canyon, Papa Meat talked about it, and then like I saw another video on it. And it was like talking about a certain sequence that people say is like really horrifying in The Empty Man. Mm-hmm. Without going in too much into spoilers, and like the intro to it, I don't know if you remember the intro to The Empty Man, but like the opening prologue,
I remember it being like 20 minutes long, and then I stopped it.
It's like, yeah, it is 20 minutes long, and it's fucking awesome. Like the score for it is super sick. They're stranded on like a mountaintop, and it's it's a blizzard. They're snowed in. They stumble across this like, if I'm being vague, this like altar type thing, and like just weird shit starts happening, and I was like, dude, I'm fully invested. And I feel like what it turns into after that isn't as cool as that initial encounter. Because after that there's a time jump, and then there's this like detective type situation where like the main guy's a cop trying to find someone, and he kind of stumbles into this world, and there's a twist that I'm not a huge fan of. I wish they had just stuck with what they established at the core of the movie. But it is I found out it's actually an adaptation of a comic book, which I had no idea, but I saw Boom Studios, and I was like, they make fucking Boom, like Boom makes comic books.
Yeah.
And then I realized it was a comic book, but they did take, I don't know how accurate it is to the original comic book, but it seems like they took a huge risk making it, which is really cool. And it is directed well. Like the director did a good job with some of the shots and establishing some really eerie scenery. And like there's a sequence where every night the main character, like, he'll like take a pill, go to bed, and like he lays down and like looks down this hallway, and they set up the fact that it's like there's a switch at the beginning and the end of the hallway early on, and he looks down it and you kind of see what's normally there, but in the dark you can't really tell. And then there's a sequence where there's an extra thing at the end of the hallway and you're like, oh fuck. So he does a really good job like setting up stuff for you to catch on to. Like you'll see a shot where there's a knife on the counter, and then the next day that knife is gone. You're like, what's going on here? But I just don't think I like where it wound up. I'd still give it a positive review. I'd say it's like a 3. And it is interesting, and there is some like cult type stuff that's really spooky. But overall, I didn't really connect with like the twist. I think that's what it is. I don't really like the twist.
That can ruin it.
Yeah. And then the next thing I watched was The Blair Witch, which I was watching. I'd seen it before, and I was making my list for the pod. So I was like, I'm just going to check. I'm going to make the list like in shots that I'm familiar with. And then when something starts happening, like I'll jump back up. And I realized like how much I remember of like the end of The Blair Witch and not a lot from the beginning. I know we talked about it. The movie's not that good, but the ending's really good. But I feel like I appreciate it for what it is, because I feel like it really put found footage like on the map, and it gave us shit like Wreck and Ganjiam and just awesome shit like that. But I still think it's just kind of okay. Like, even with, we only get one account of what the Blair Witch looked like, and the rest are like typical tall tales that you would tell like your kids, like go to bed early or the Blair Witch will get you. Like, there's only one character in the beginning that like says like they saw the Blair Witch and this is what it kind of looked like, and it doesn't last that long. It's not very descriptive. And then once they get out there, there's like one thing that they talk about from this journal that the main lady has, about an encounter, like them finding something that was there from the Blair Witch, and then that's it. The rest is just like they're in the woods and hearing shit, and you're like, it could be the Blair Witch. And I feel like there should have been a little more to establish like that threat for it to feel like more scary.
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't take any of it as this could be the Blair Witch. I'd take it as it is the Blair Witch.
Even if you take it as the Blair Witch, like, I feel I wanted more like lore for them to be making like a documentary about, like, it'd be like if you made a documentary about Bigfoot. Like, I feel like there's a lot of encounters and like people will tell you a bunch of different shit. Like, I feel like it should have been like more of that towards the beginning. Like, there's people they interview that don't say anything, and there are comedic beats with some of the people they interview, but like the only real like encounter is with that one lady that everyone said is crazy. And I wish there had been more, like it had been more like the Mothman, and like you go to West Virginia and like dozens of people were talking about like what they think the Mothman is, and like having possibly seen the Mothman. But all the people they interviewed at the beginning is like, yeah, I've heard of the Blair Witch. And that's it.
Yeah. I do think that the ending carries it a lot. I give the Blair Witch a 3. And part of that is just I respect the product that they made with the budget they had. And it's like a revolutionary movie in the horror genre. And it's got a really sick ending that, like, if you watch it in the proper circumstances at night alone, and you watch the whole movie in one sitting.
Yeah.
Because, like, you had to pause it, and you were, like, not fully watching the whole time, and you were on your phone, and a lot of it was during the day. Like, that's probably not going to do much for you.
Yeah, I do really like, once they're out there, I like that a lot. like the dealing with like the paranoia and the sound coming from like all directions. You can't see anything because the main characters can't see anything. Like that is really cool. Like that puts me in an unsettling like space. I just wish they had leaned more into like almost like a folk horror with like all these previous encounters and like weird shit happening in this like rural town. Where'd they say they're at? Is it Massachusetts? Yeah. So I wish we'd gotten a little bit more of that. But the first half is more like playful, and it does set up like the main three characters, and like you get an idea of who they are. But I feel like you don't need as much of that. I feel like I wish I'd gotten more of the like tall tales almost.
Yeah, and the beginning does set up the end though.
It does, yeah.
Like the dialogue in the beginning is what makes the final shot creepy.
Yeah.
So,
but I liked them kind of turning on each other, the paranoia of, you know, what the fuck's going on, where is it, what's like, where are we? Them getting lost I think is huge versus them just like being on their way back and being hunted almost.
Yeah.
Them being lost is like another element of this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot more than I remember. I used to tell people that I hated the Blair Witch, but if I'm adding respect points, I'd say it is probably like a 3. But as far as not counting that, like what it set up and what it paved the way for, I'd say it's like a 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Then we got 2 things up on the old list to do. First thing up is we're going to draft items from horror movies that we want.
You better not steal my shit, dude.
I probably will. This idea was from Max, so shout out to Max.
Dude, Max
listens to every scoop.
Fucking creative.
He's
coming
the
up
homie.
with cool stuff.
He's a homie.
We love Max around here.
Yep. You can go first.
My number... How many items did you do?
5.
Okay. My number... I fucked up my numbering. My number 5 is the Midsummer Mallet.
Fuck you.
I gotta have it, dude.
That's
the bonker from Midsummer, gotta own it. I need to hang it on a wall somewhere.
You son of a bitch.
You shouldn't have let me go first, dude.
I mean, now I can steal your next one.
Dude.
Maybe.
I've got a big one. And you can't have it.
Yeah, I want the Midsummer Mallet because I feel like it could just come in handy. You know, dude. Like you have a home intruder. Not anymore. No, not anymore.
All your problems are one bonk away, dude.
Yep.
And you're done.
You'll just knock his head off.
Yeah.
One stroke of the mal, and he's a goner.
Also, you're breaking into someone's... Like, let's say you get into someone's house and then they charge you with a fucking huge hammer.
Yeah.
A 2-handed hammer.
Honestly, like, I wouldn't even need to wield the hammer. Like, I could just set up the mallet...
And point at it.
No, I just set up the mallet at the front door. So if anyone breaks in, the first thing they see is I just broke into a guy's house that owns that. So I'm going to leave now.
I just broke into hell, dude. I got to get out of here.
Yeah, so I wouldn't even ever need to use it. But, I mean, what if my chicken's too thick and it's going to cook unevenly?
Exactly.
I need the mallet.
Or what if you have to knock a cartoon hole into a wall?
Yeah.
You got the mallet, dude.
Yeah, that's what it's for. So I just feel like there's tons of uses.
Yeah.
Maybe if I get really old one day and I've had enough, I can just like get my grandkids to give me the old mallet treatment.
Yeah, just be like, you know what to do.
Yeah. My next pick, well, my first pick actually, is quite obviously the peach fuzz mask.
Ooh, I was gonna put that on my list, but I didn't.
Yeah, I need the peach fuzz mask so I can wear it during my tubby time.
Yeah, got to.
Another one that's just super applicable.
Yeah,
like a home intruder. You know, put on the peach fuzz mask. He's turning around.
I mean, he's not gonna be.
He's made a big mistake.
He's gonna try to leave, but you're gonna be rubbing your butt on the door.
Oh no. No. In Creep, Joseph rubs his butt on the door because he doesn't want Aaron to leave.
Yeah.
I want this guy to not come in.
But when you put the Peach Fuzz mask on, you're going to want to keep him there. You're going to be the creep.
I'm going to let him leave, and then I'm going to send him a video in the mail.
There you go. Yeah.
And then I'm going to tell him to meet me at a park.
Yeah.
And I will tell him I'm not bringing my axe.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing my axe.
Yeah, I'm the switcheroo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. All right. The next one on my list, I'm going to go ahead and rip it off so that you can't steal it. McCready's hat.
I don't have that.
Oh my God, that's my number, like my biggest one.
No.
McCready's hat from The Thing. It's the coolest hat you've ever seen in your life. It's huge. It's everything you want. I think I want it mainly because I hope that it'll make me look like Kurt Russell, but it won't.
I got news for you, pal. Won't happen.
Yeah, no, I'll never be.
That ship won't sail.
Yeah, but I can at least have it and be a cool guy.
Yeah. I have a hat as well.
Ooh, what hat did you pick?
I want to draft the Babadook's hat.
Oh my, the top hat, dude.
Yeah.
Really, the Babadook's full fit, dude.
Imagine like popping into a 7-Eleven and the Babadook's hat.
With that fucking
getting
2
a big
foot
gulp.
tall hat.
Getting a big gulp in a hot dog and the Babadook hat.
If you take the duster too that he wears.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
dude.
dude.
Those cashiers will have no idea what's coming.
They're not gonna make you pay.
No.
You're gonna just be able to take what you want. They don't know what's under the hat.
They're going to think I'm the reincarnation of Abraham Lincoln, and they're just going to give me whatever I want.
You gotta, on your way out, hit him with a good day.
Yeah. Tip the hat.
Yeah. That is a great pick, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
I need it.
Next one on my list. This one's kind of lame, but I want it. It's the house from Hereditary.
Fuck you, dude.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, that was the first thing I put on my list.
Oh my God.
I didn't do it yet because I didn't think you would take it.
Yeah.
But
it's the coolest house
there's
ever.
nothing funny about this one. This one is genuine. It's a beautiful house.
Yeah, it's like
it's in the middle of nowhere. It's in the woods.
Yeah.
You can have a privacy, and there's like hardwood floors, and it's nice and open.
Yeah.
There's
There's like random stained glass like windows like on the interior of the house. Like it sounds fucking dumb as shit when you're like, look at the architecture when you're watching Hereditary.
Yeah.
But if you watch the movie,
it's a perfect house.
It is. Yeah. It looks like something that you would like. They would do a Nickelodeon set on where they have the coolest house ever.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looks like.
Yeah. It's like the
Miniatures
adult
and all.
equivalent of when you're a kid and you see Drake and Josh's room.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is awesome. They have license plates on their wall.
Yeah.
And Drake's bed is like elevated.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
And now you're like, oh my God, you're like Patrick Bateman, those hardwood floors.
Yeah, dude, it's so nice. It's such a nice house. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful house. I had that on mine too, so fuck you.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to take... Oh, my last one. Yeah, because you stole 2 of mine. Well, my last one that I want is Patrick Bateman.
The person?
Yeah. I just want a Patrick Bateman that I can put in my pocket for whenever I want him.
Hell yeah.
I mean, talk about coming in handy.
Yeah, dude.
Like...
You sick him, you fucking throw him out like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then he starts killing people. Starts eating the first person he sees.
Yeah, like some bitch is rude to me at fucking Target. And I just drop my Patrick on her.
Yeah.
Yeah. He starts eating her ankles.
Patrick, fucking kill this nerd. That's a good one. That's a good one. I didn't think about taking a person.
Yeah, I broke the rules.
Yeah. But... no, you're fine. I still have 2 more. So
I bet you do.
I don't know how that...
Yeah, I bet you do. That's what happens when you don't get your shit stolen.
I have the loader from Aliens.
The loader?
Yeah.
What
the
is
machine that she wears in Aliens.
Oh.
The mech suit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard it referred to as that.
Yeah, they call it that in the movie.
I've never heard it referred to as that.
Yeah, she says, I can drive that loader over there.
I think you're talking about when she said, I can drive that big robot suit.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm remembering it wrong. I want one of those for sure.
To do what?
Fucking wreck shit. Fucking pick you up over my head and just hold you there. You can't do anything about it.
Trying to doodle bob me?
Yeah, dude, I'll just fucking mahoy manoy you. And then the last thing is, this is kind of a detriment to me, but it's the Evil Dead chainsaw arm. I'll cut my shit off.
I thought about that, but then I'd be missing a hand.
I don't give a fuck. Dude, if I have a chainsaw arm, come on. Come on. Like, think about all the possibilities.
Yeah.
Think about all the things that you can do with your hand, with a chainsaw, that you can't do with your hand.
I know.
Who's winning, really?
Yeah. Or think about, like, when you go to a sandwich shop and you ask them to cut it in half and then they don't, so you just do it yourself.
You rev it up, dude.
Yeah. Who cares if there's mayonnaise in your chain now?
You already got blood in there
later.
from slaughtering people.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, that's our draft of items from horror movies. Last thing up is the category is called Dream Horror Movie, but I don't really like that title because it's not like I'm not exactly sure what like the perfect horror movie would be or what my dream horror movie would be, but I just came up with like an idea that I think would be really cool.
Okay. I wasn't
So it's
sure.
like build a horror movie basically.
Yeah, I wasn't sure like how far like into this we were going. So like some of my stuff is like very vague. But it's like stuff that I like in a horror movie that if I was making a horror movie, I would try and put into it. But I don't have like oh, the fucking the lighthouse as my setting, you know, like a mock of a horror movie.
Yeah.
I've got like, I want this in it. You know what I mean?
Well, you can go ahead and do yours. I'll do mine second.
Okay. Did I do it wrong?
I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
You haven't done it yet.
So the first thing, and this is, I'll do both of these at once, but isolation and paranoia, like my setting in the movie, like my dream horror movie is going to be something like they're snowed in, like The Shining, like you can't leave this location, and then like you not knowing, the characters not knowing what's going on fully is my shit. What are you laughing at?
Yes, you did it wrong.
Oh, okay. I gotta pick like specific stuff.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, I want the plot to be like this, and I want this person directing it, these people acting in it,
Oh,
this person
okay.
shooting it.
Yeah, did not do that. Did not do that at all.
It's awesome. So what else do you have?
I have. Well, now I'm embarrassed to go through my stuff.
Oh, too late.
Well, throw out a couple yours so I'm less ashamed.
No, go finish yours so I can go to mine.
Okay. I wanted it to be kind of like a folk horror thing with like cult stuff. I was hot off of The Empty Man and like the beginning of that, where they were like, the start of The Empty Man I think is like strong, like right up my alley, where they're like isolated in a blizzard. There's this like cult like altar that they find, weird shit starts happening, they don't fully understand. Like it leans into the folk horror a little bit, not a ton, but like with this ancient altar and stuff, and there's like these locals around. Like that's what I would want to see in like my dream horror movie. And then the last thing I have is some kind of monster, because I feel like there's not a lot of monster horror movies with like a super original design. I was thinking in my head like The Ritual almost, like that monster is so cool to me.
I haven't seen it.
It's really, really cool. Should check it out at some point.
Okay.
But that's everything I had on my list. My very vague, shitty list.
All right. Yeah, it's just very vague.
Yeah.
Like very, like nothing's bad about it. It's just like a lot of horror movies are paranoia and isolation based. A lot of them have monsters.
Well, I'm just like, I mean, monsters like not what you would typically see. Like not zombies or like some demon or anything like that.
Like an original monster.
Yeah, some kind of entity that like exists.
Like the Babadook.
Yes, the Babadook's a great example because he's not like a demon or anything like that. Like he's his own thing.
Yeah.
Like Hellraiser is demons, fucking zombies, werewolves and stuff. I would try and take it some kind of other direction where it's like it's its own thing, almost not cosmic horror, not like it's a god, but it's just it exists.
Okay. All right, I'll do mine.
Show me how it's done.
I'm actually pretty proud of this thing I came up with.
Let's see what you did. You like develop a whole premise?
It's so good that I'm not even sure I should say what it is.
Oh my god!
Because
dude.
I should probably patent it so no one steals it.
Yeah.
Because it's just that good. And it's sad that it's probably a movie that'll only ever exist in my head. Because I want to see it.
Yeah.
But my concept is you got 3 guys.
Okay.
You got one played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Of course.
You got one played by Tom Hardy.
Oh my god.
You got one played by Willem Dafoe.
Ooh.
Now these 3 guys are Bigfoot hunters.
Okay.
They go into the mountains. They try to find Bigfoot, and they go up there for 3 days, and they don't see anything. No sign of Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. So on the last night they're about to sleep and then leave in the morning and go home, and like mission failed, no Bigfoot. But since there's no like reception in the mountains, there's no TV, there's nothing to like do. Jake Gyllenhaal's character brings shrooms to help pass the time.
Yeah.
You know,
you to have some fun.
Yeah, have some fun with the boys. And so all 3 of them start taking shrooms and start hallucinating, and then they start in their heads hanging out with Bigfoot. They're like sitting around a fire with Bigfoot, like talking to Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And like one guy, Tom Hardy's character just got out of a relationship and is like having trouble moving on, and Bigfoot's like giving him advice, like relationship advice.
Oh my god.
And then it cuts to them like dancing around the campfire, like in the lighthouse.
Okay.
Where they're all drunk.
Yeah.
And it's like a montage of them. You know the montage in The Watch of them hanging out with the alien?
Yeah.
And like taking pictures.
That. Yeah.
It's that.
Okay.
That's what I'm picturing in my head.
Yeah.
Is them just like for a long time, like 15 minutes.
It's fun with Bigfoot.
Them hanging out with a Bigfoot they've created in their head.
Yeah.
And then after a while, the real Bigfoot shows up and starts to kill them.
Oh my god.
Barbarian style, like out of nowhere, the real Bigfoot comes up and grabs Willem Dafoe's head and starts just smashing it into a tree.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then
so then it turned like it's a comedy up until that point, and then it's like a survival, like The Grey type movie where they're trying to survive Bigfoot.
And they don't know if like they're with the fake Bigfoot or the real Bigfoot.
Well, I think they get the idea.
Or you think after the murder it's like no more games.
Our Bigfoot would never do that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's obviously some other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they know, like, okay, that was the one we made up. This one is bad news.
Yeah.
So then the rest of the movie, they're just like trying to survive and, you know.
No, dude, that's fucking awesome. I love folklore creatures like cryptids, like Mothman, Bigfoot, Wendigos, shit like that. Mm-hmm. So a Bigfoot movie would be fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
My initial idea was also I chose for director James Wan.
Of course.
I'm not like it could be someone else, because I feel like with that tone Sam Raimi would make sense. But I just feel like with James Wan's camera work, like, because I do want the movie to be scary once it wants to be.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like James Wan's great at that. And I initially had Mike Flanagan, but I don't know. I've never seen him deal with comedy too much, and I want to make sure that the comedy's good. But I know that James Wan likes camp because of Malignant.
Yeah.
So
No, I think you did a great pick on that.
and then Greg Fraser to shoot it, obviously, but like everything else you can just shoe in.
Yeah.
The score though, I chose. What are their names? Robin Carolyn and Sebastian Gainsborough, who are the composers for The Northman.
Holy shit, dude.
Because I want like a very tribal
Yeah.
type score.
Because it would match up with everything.
Right.
Yeah. I definitely fucked that up. But in my defense, I'm not very creative. I don't think I could have come up with anything that good.
I mean, took me. I was about to say my original idea was more in line with The Descent. It was more in line with like a group of people that work for a company that like builds cave tours.
Yeah.
Like they go find caves and like put sidewalks in them and lights and everything and like commercializes it. But before that happens, like you have to send some guys in there to like explore the cave first and like make sure it's safe and everything.
Yeah.
And it would be like that. It would be a found footage movie about those guys like exploring a cave, and everything would be recorded like chest cams, GoPros, for like insurance reasons because they're at work and like whatever happens needs to be recorded.
Yeah, they're in a
like,
cave,
workers'
like you
comp
can't call like 4 people and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it would all be found footage based on like their chest cams exploring these. But then the more I thought about it, the more it was just The Descent, and it was just The Descent with like working class dudes instead of teenage women.
I mean, they were
like,
all
that's
adult
just-
women.
Oh yeah, they are. They're like 20s. I mean, they're not teenagers, but they're not super old either. But the more I thought about it, the more it was just too similar to The Descent to like think it was a good idea.
Yeah, that's the problem with like, I feel like anything I come up with has already been done or is too similar to something else.
Yeah.
But the idea of taking like something as iconic as Bigfoot and making that the horror icon is awesome.
It's kind of surprising that, I mean, I'm sure there's some really low budget like Walmart dollar bin Bigfoot horror movies, but in terms of like theatrical releases that had an okay sized budget, I don't think I've ever heard of a Bigfoot horror movie.
Dude, there's a lot of like,
that's a big missed opportunity.
Huge. Yeah, there's a lot of like horror movies that I feel like don't, or a lot of horror like things like Bigfoot, the Jersey Devil, Skinwalkers that like don't have any big budget movie. Like I was listening to a podcast that like they were talking about some of these horror short stories, and one of them was about like a Skinwalker pretending to be this guy's dog, and it was like haunting visuals that they were like presenting. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a movie like that would do very well.
Yeah, I want more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like things that people in real life think are real.
Yeah.
Whether they are or not, we don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a cool thing to explore.
Yeah.
In film. But yeah, that's what I got.
Heck yeah, dude. I love it.
Venom comes out this week.
Ooh.
So we'll be watching that.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be our last spooky scoop.
I'm gonna have to really bust out, dude.
You say that every week.
Well, I did bust out. Just not this week.
Yeah.
There's
been like 1 week you busted out.
I busted out the previous week. I watched like 6 movies. And then last week I went fucking hog wild, and then this one I took my day of rest.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about Venom, and we'll think of some other spooky stuff to talk about. But as always, thank you for listening to the Spooky Scoop.